You're good? Go ahead.
Ready? Alright, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, my topic was appearance and how it affects persuasion. The article that I selected was by Erica Engstrong, and it was called Looking Through a Gendered Lens, Local U.S. Television News Anchors Perceived Career Barriers. And it examined the highest rated career barriers that women news anchors face, which happen to be the overemphasis on physical appearance. My question for you guys is, does one's visual representation and their appearance affect how their upcoming actions will be perceived? Yes.
I think so.
Wow.
Because if you see a person dressed like a certain way, you kind of get a gist of what might happen or what the basis of it is going to be.
I guess it's like already like established like stereotypes that you
Yeah.
just like conform to.
Okay, so for television news anchors, the study it talked about how TV news requires women and men to present their appearance on television for a large portion of their careers. So more people are focused on their beauty, like what they look like. Those who are seen to display the societal expectations of appearance and beauty have gained more credibility as journalists. So if they're viewed as more beautiful by the society, they're more likely to have higher ratings. That type of thing. And a quote by one of the people in the survey was that women are supposed to appear attractive, perhaps even glamorous, and the men just have to look trustworthy. Trustworthiness plays into credibility as well, because the men are in the field of news anchors are usually in the age range of 40 to 44, whereas women are in the age range from 30 to 34. And the study was out of 246 news anchors. They were sent a questionnaire in the mail, and 128 were female and 118 were male. The questionnaire consisted of several statements pertaining to factors of work and the personal life that may be perceived as being a career obstacle. These statements included topics regarding the overemphasis of physical appearance, lack of professional networks and supporting groups, a lack of mentors, differential treatment in the job application process, and additional pressures to prove one's worth due to one's gender. The items were identified on the questionnaire disregarding phrasing towards gender identification. So when asked about family matters, the women were regarded as wife, the phrasing was regarded as wife and mother, and for the males it was regarded as husband, father, that type of thing. And it was a total of 35 items. There was one blank item to suggest a non-mentioned barrier where the person that conducting the survey could put in their own non-mentioned barriers. So if they were experiencing something else in the workforce that was affecting them, that they could input down. And they used the Likert type scale using 1 to 5, in which 1 was strongly disagree, 5 was strongly agree, and 3 was neither agree nor disagree. And they asked for the demographics of the groups. So they asked for the age, marital status, number of children living at home, education level, salary, and the results showed that the female average age was 30 to 34, male average age was 40 to 44, and the education was that 86% of females had a bachelor's degree, whereas only 67% in comparison had one. But more men had a graduate degree than women. And that just shows how, in terms of credibility, that women have to, in terms of gender in persuasion, women have to be more, they have to have higher qualifications than a man to qualify for the same job. And physical appearance as a career barrier. Female anchors' top-rated career barrier pertains to the overemphasis. They perceived others placed on their physical appearance. and it only ranked 27th among the 34 items for the male anchors. And the male anchors agreed that appearing too youthful was detrimental to their careers, whereas their female coworkers appearing younger did not hold any importance. And this pertains all to credibility, because male newspapers, for instance, if they were assumed to be higher in age, based off of their appearance, their credibility would increase because they would be seen as having a higher level of expertise. And if they were appeared as younger, they seemed less trustworthy and naive. Whereas female news anchors, the more attractive and younger, the better. If they were older and were involved in the media for an extended period of time, being with a certain, let's see, like a news anchor, like if they held that position for a long period of time, the appearance would be less of a factor because they had already developed their career.
Many sleep aids have pain medicine,
That's not the
but Sequel is different. Because why would you take a pain medicine when all you want is good sleep? Sequel, a non-habit forming sleep aid that's not for pain, just for sleep.
It's often said that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's true. We all have different opinions about what's beautiful. But it's proven time and time again that people who are tall, physically fit, and facially symmetrical are oftentimes more successful than others in the workplace. In 2010, Newsweek surveyed more than 1,000 people, some of whom were hiring managers, and discovered 72% believed being considered attractive was an advantage for a woman who's interviewing for a job.
I think that a manager at work wants to know that you care enough about your appearance to be able to project professionalism on the job.
And after the interviewee gets the job,
Who is that sad little person? We're doing a before and after piece, I don't remember.
60% of the hiring managers Newsweek polled thought women who wore figure-flattering clothing at work might have an advantage. And in another study, so-called attractive people were found to make as much as 11 to 15% more than their less attractive coworkers.
So, overall appearance has a large influence on particular careers, and it plays into how our society as a whole has created beauty expectations, particularly for women, whereas we focus more on a man's knowledge and expertise in the field, such as the television media.